It's Triple Crown here, Sunday, September 28th, 2025. It is once again time for Grove City Card Fest, third installment of this one-day show in Central Ohio, put on by B Sports, same promoter as Chip Shawana and Card Collector 2. Excited for this one. We'll see how football season and the football slate impacts the crowd today. Let's waste no more time and get into it. I don't know if you want to take a look at anything. How tough are these to hit?
I ripped 50 boxes at Sam's Club and pulled 2.
Okay, so they're tough.
They are tough.
I'm probably not the right guy on these, but Ryan or Logan will be your guy.
Cool, man.
Thank you so much.
Yep. How you doing?
Good. What about yourself?
Something you haven't seen yet. Just came out. Product hit.
Boom. That's cool.
And that was all both in the same box. So out of 50, and then the hobby exclusive SSP.
This is sweet. Probably not for me, but
that's fine. Understood. Yeah, no problem, man.
You're going to see a lot today of reasons I didn't buy certain cards. Within just a few minutes of being set up, I had 2 people come up with cards from either the On It Ohio State stuff or the brand new NIL set that released just 2 days prior to this show. Now, in the past, I made the mistake of buying cards right on release day, and typically that is not going to go so well, because the prices usually dip within the first few weeks of the product coming out. Since the market becomes a little bit more flooded with the singles, it's not brand new anymore, so people have to have them right away. Because of that, even if I got a great deal on them, let's say that, there was already a sale on them, and I got them for half off, what might be half off now might be double the price in just a few weeks' time. And considering my show schedule doesn't involve much around Central Ohio coming up, it's probably not a great idea for me to jump on any of those types of cards for the time being.
6 for 6, Shadur. I mean, we didn't send them all. But you were right. Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been around.
You been good?
I have you?
Yeah. This is the only show in my backyard, so I can actually sleep in.
Yeah, it's nice. This is perhaps a future podcast topic, but lately I have been diversifying my content by trying to post a bit more on Instagram and TikTok, which admittedly I was not great at before, and I'm definitely not great now, but I'm learning slowly but surely. And this is one of those times where it actually paid off for me. Sometimes the content creation side of things does help me make sales, and that was the case here. I posted a preview just showing these are 7 new cards to my case since my last setup. And one of them was this Barry Sanders card that I had. Well, sure enough, one of my regulars saw it on my Instagram reel that I posted, and we struck a deal before the show even started. So, goes to show that social media can help sometimes.
You kind of room on that?
You want to look at it? What'd you say?
Any kind of room on it?
Yeah, I'll listen to an offer on it. Sure.
Are you looking at any cards today?
Yeah, I'll take a look if you want to set it right over here. Anything off limits in your case? Or?
No, it's all available.
Okay. Is this what you're asking for them up here, or is that just kind of the starting point?
That's kind of the starting point. It's about what I got them listed for on eBay.
Okay. Let me take a look and see what we can do. There are times where I will go into making an offer on things that walk up to my table, and I have very little confidence that things are going to get done, but I'm going to try anyways. And this is one of those instances. When he told me that his sticker prices were what he had them up on eBay for or close to it, that was a bit of a red flag to me, because if he is asking those prices and expecting those prices from me to pay as someone who is walking up to my table, that probably means that I'm not going to be able to buy them, because even if I bought them at those prices, if I am the one who goes and lists them on eBay, I am losing, for simplicity's sake, let's say 15% right off the rip. That's just if I get what he is asking. What he's asking might not actually be what they sell for. So I don't have a ton of confidence here, and in some cases, some of the cards he had, I went and looked up, and they were actually a little bit more on the sticker than what he had them up for. I'm going to give it a shot, but I just don't have a lot of confidence here.
Did you pull this one yourself, or did you find it somewhere?
We ended up buying it on eBay for like $440 several months ago.
I'll do them separately just because I'm not sure where you're at there. I would be at $450 on this. I'd be at $130 on these. Just kind of working them up, and that's what I would need to have the margin I need. So, yeah.
I'll probably have to pass this time.
Really enjoy it.
Yeah, no worries.
But I will keep it in mind.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me look at
shop.
Yeah, this one didn't work out kind of like I thought. And perhaps it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I kind of had that gut feeling that this probably isn't going to work out. I only get that feeling just because I've dealt with so many different types of buyers who have walked up and gone through so many different scenarios that I can usually get a good read on the situation as to how likely I am to make a deal. And in this case here, I kind of felt that some of his stickers were a little bit high, but if that is the value that he wanted to work off of and he wanted to try to get that full sticker price for those cards, it just wasn't going to work out unless I caved in and paid that. I am getting better, because this is admittedly a fault of mine, at least trying on this stuff. Even though I knew that this one probably wasn't going to work out, I at least wanted to try. Having that defeatist mindset probably cost me some opportunities. I understand that I'm still probably going to get rejected a lot, but it doesn't hurt to try.
Is the Jordan Love number?
175.
175.
Yep.
Zach, can we have a single set back?
Alright, the infamous sheet comes out, and this is actually the first time I've set up with a newly formatted sheet. How I used to kind of do it is I would group things into what I would call deals, meaning if I bought 4 cards at a time, they were all part of the same deal. They all shared that total cost, and I was working towards getting back to that number, and then whatever was extra I would use as profit. I found myself falling into the trap a lot of times of really starting to loosen up once I got back to even on a lot of those cards, because yes, in theory, I am into them for nothing, but I was kind of cheating myself out of reaching the margin that I wanted to. So I've now changed things around where every card that I have individually has a cost associated with it. And what I found is it allows me to make better decision making, and allows me to know exactly where I need to be to get the margin that I want on it. And therefore, I feel like I can move through cards more efficiently, like I'm about to right here.
Jordan Love in the Victorian here. Did you do 80 for the card? Hit or miss?
I'll split it with you at 90.
Could you do 85?
I'm going to stay at 90. Yeah.
I know it's $5, but I'm gonna have to. I'll probably take this one out. Could you do 25
Yeah, at that point, let's just do 85. Why not? Yeah, let's squabble over $5. It's a good deal.
Hey, you got him.
He successfully called my bluff there. It wasn't really a bluff. It was just me kind of thinking better of the situation and saying, you know what, 85 is fine, because I did hit my target margin on those 2 cards, which is really all I wanted out of my kind of huge philosophical debate I had with myself over the summer, if you'll remember, of wanting to stay firm on my sticker prices because I was unhappy with my margin. I think this is the happy compromise, is that I'm still stickering things the same way, but I do understand my cost a bit better on these cards. I understand where I want to sticker things at and what I can expect to be offered based on that. And it has given me a lot more peace of mind knowing that I am making more informed decisions each time I sell each individual card.
So here.
Bob, you set it right here if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Is this kind of what you're asking for them, the stickers here?
Well, you can make an offer. That was about the last comp, probably maybe a month ago, something like that. So.
Small selling card. Only one. I know.
What's like limited purses, or or what jewelry, or whatever. We all have things, we all have things. Some things are a little harder to understand.
Well, that's why I get love.
Yeah.
How we doing, guys?
Let's take a look at a couple of these real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it is very tempting to just dive into this whole case and try to get everything here because it's two guys that I really like, Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. There's some pretty awesome Ohtanis in this guy's Zion case. The ones I'm most interested in are these 3 refractors from 2019 Topps Chrome. So we're talking second-year cards here. Really just a great image on this card. The crown jewel, if you will, among the trio is the orange. True orange out of 25. It's in a BGS 8 holder with a 7 surface subgrade. These types of cards don't pop up too often. Chances of one of these having sold recently are pretty slim. And as a matter of fact, they're very slim. And what I have to do here is stay disciplined. Just because I think this is really cool and it's something that doesn't pop up too often, I can't think of it that way. I need to think of it a little bit more rationally from a business standpoint.
Was there something that you saw at 2K on this one?
Were you on eBay?
I'm on Card Ladder.
Okay. I got one right here. I mean, it's a PSA 10, but it's at 2,900. Here's another. Oh, that's the Orange Wave, but it's at 2,700. And I think that's really about it. I mean, the comps are so far in between. I mean, there's only 25.
Yeah, they don't pop up too often.
No, they don't pop up too often. And I was shooting for the rainbow, but I started piecing them out once the reds got totally out of my price range.
Here's the Ohtani he was talking about. It's a $1,700 best offer accepted off of that $2,900. There is also one that had sold recently, about a week or two after that one, for right around $2,100. But again, both those examples are the wave. That is not the regular orange like he has here. Without a doubt, the regular orange is going to command more of a premium than the wave would. You heard him there say that the reds kind of got out of control when he was trying to build the rainbow. What I see a lot of times now is that people will only do the rainbow of the regular colors, meaning they're only going after the red, the orange, the blue. They're not going after the waves, mini diamonds, lavas, whatever other pattern you may prefer. Some people are just looking for the regular old colors, and I do value that quite a bit. The actual regular orange hasn't sold in quite some time. It wasn't since the start of the calendar year. There was these two sales right here. There was also a raw sale around $1,000. And I think that one is probably the best depiction of where the card was at the time. Where it is now, though, is very subjective. I mean, he's had another phenomenal season. We'll see how the postseason pans out. But this is kind of one of those where it's name your price, because there's a lot of Ohtani collectors out there. I'm taking into consideration that This is the only one that would be available on any marketplace right now. I didn't see any listed on eBay. I didn't see any listed anywhere else when I did a quick Google search, like an auction house or a MySlabs. And that gives me some confidence that I can set the market, but would someone realistically pay $2,000 for this card? I don't think so. My gut, before I even turned it over to see what his sticker was going to be anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. And really, if I could get it closer to that 12 range, I think it would be something that I would go ahead and pull the trigger on. At $2,000 though, we're just too far apart. So I'm going to go after the purple and the blue wave. Those ones sell a little bit more frequently, and I feel more confident in being able to get something done on them. But just because they're good cards doesn't mean I have to get something done. You know, I'm not going to go above and beyond what I'm willing to normally pay just because I really like the cards. I got to take my emotion out of it and just look at it from what would I expect someone else to pay for the card.
I would offer $475 on these two. I'd probably be too far away for that.
Okay, I'm going to pass on that one right there. You want that one there?
Yeah, it'd be at like 75 on it though.
It's not those ones.
Nah, I'm going to have to pass on that one.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me look.
Hey, no
awesome
problem.
Stuff.
Thank you.
Hey, it didn't work out here. That's fine. You know, we shook hands, thanked each other for our respective times, and went on about our business. But I'm proud of myself for not buying here because it showed a lot more discipline. This is perhaps something a few years ago I would have forced the issue a little bit more and made sure that I bought those cards, whereas now I understand that there will be more opportunities for more cool things. I don't have to buy these cards, and that's just a sign of maturity, and I'm a little pat on my back for myself on that one.
Hey, thanks, Lacto. Remind me one more time, what were you saying on this one?
There was a, I mean, sales are kind of thinking about
right.
Taking it.
There was a sale at 275, but this one's closer to like 200.
Okay.
You're also not going to hurt my feeling with an offer, so feel free to offer whatever makes sense. I know some people get very offended, like, you got to make money.
That's like a little bit, like 72%.
I'll pass on Tiger.
Okay.
I'd like to be at 280 for these three.
No, I have a 280 for those three. Let's see. That would be my trade offer.
I see what you mean about this one. This one, they are way all over the place. That one's kind of name your number.
Yeah.
And then this one here is just the game of figuring out where he is at right now.
I get it.
And also trade too if there's something that you see that you like.
The only thing I see, and it's just a small guy, but I do like that coin there.
Okay.
I haven't totally given up on it.
That is the one I like the least out of the three. So I'm not. It's not one of those I like have to have, but it's definitely cool. I like the little prospector die cut thing.
Yeah. Look real quick.
Yeah.
I just bought the 10 of that.
The 10?
Yeah.
That's a tough 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one of those do you like least?
That's a fair question. I like them about the same, and I would probably prefer to get both if I was going to, if I'm going to buy one, I'd like to buy both.
All right. Can I think about it and come back?
Probably will, it's kind of like now or never type of
This is
thing.
the chance, okay.
Yeah. Just because sometimes I'll have big stuff walk up, and then I don't want to be like, oh, I got to hold this off.
I understand, okay.
I have gotten away from letting people walk around and think about it because, yes, I don't want to make my funds tied up in case something big does come along, waiting for a deal that may or may not come back to me. But I also don't want my offer to be used as leverage. I've had it before where someone will take my offer and then another dealer will offer them $10 more, and then I will lose out on the card. So I kind of want to solidify each deal and leave no loose threads each time I negotiate.
That's happened before.
I appreciate the offer. I think it's fair. I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
Would you take 20 on that?
Of course.
Breaking up with that. Let's see.
I take it your number is very different.
It is. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing something.
Estimated car value, I'm getting on that from 10,327.71.
Okay. I'm seen a raw one last Sunday, actually.
Oh, wow, the raws have gone down quite a bit. That's what I'm seeing in the 9. Let me see what else we got here.
Over the place. So
no, I see that. I mean, that number, I see what you're seeing. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. We might be too far apart on that one. Happy to work with you, but that's just too much.
Yeah, I'm sure. We might just be too far apart.
We might be. The one thing I will say is getting anything through PSA right now is pretty nice.
That's
and
true.
it is PSA graded. So if you want to do a package, throw a number at me.
I'm not going to like it. I'd be at 6 for these two. Yeah. Not with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do 6, and I think you know that.
Yeah.
I'll be straight. I'll do 850. I'll come down that much, and like you're being straight with me, I'll be straight with you. That's pretty much what I could part with that, and I'm barely making anything on that.
I would take a chance on it, just probably not at that mark. So I'm gonna hold on.
I'll do one thing if it's up to you. You find it. I'll throw in a rip card too for a gamble.
Yeah, probably not for me.
Probably still not enough. For me.
Okay.
But thank you.
No, I appreciate you taking a look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Always good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Not gonna lie, this one was pretty tempting too. We're looking at a Drake May Rookie Mosaic White Sparkle. Not necessarily something that I would deal in. I typically don't go too big on the rookie quarterbacks because of how volatile their markets are. But in the right situation, with the appropriate amount of risk, I will take a flyer. And Drake May is one of those guys that I actually do like. I don't love him, but I like him. And I would say that for the right price, I'll take a flyer on this White Sparkle Mosaic. That being said, though, I also keep in mind that these types of cards usually invite a certain kind of company to the table. And by that I mean I'm most likely going to see this card targeted by a repacker or a flipper. I'm not going to probably find the collector for this card unless I post it online, in which case I need to be cognizant of whatever fees I might have to pay depending on the platform I'm selling it on. But if I'm selling it to a repacker or a flipper, I know that they're going to use that 420 sale to their advantage as much as possible. Even if I want to say one of these other sales you see on screen is more accurate, it doesn't matter. That is what they're going to latch on to. Some of them will probably argue that my 9 is worth less than raw, and I completely disagree with that. Even if they do think the 9 is worth more than raw, they're likely not going to value the 9 where I would, and they're most likely not going to want to pay full rip for whatever they value the 9 at, which means that I'm going to have to buy this card right for those types of people who are going to come up and want those types of things. Sure, I might get lucky and find that Drake May collector, but I know what is more likely to happen with that card just based on my own experiences. And I try to keep that in mind too. I'm visualizing what the sale will look like for me when I go to sell that card. Because of that, I don't think that I can get this card at a price that would appeal to its target audience of a repacker or flipper, which is why I wouldn't come up for my offer there. I did have the Skeens kind of in my back pocket to offset it, but I was paying kind of top of the end of what I wanted to pay on that card too, so it didn't really help my case all that much. It was just one of those that didn't work out. And you know what? Maybe he finds the right buyer for this card that values it a bit more. But for me, I just felt like it wasn't right and it wasn't a good use of my funds.
Is that a 101?
No, it's a Contra SSP. But all the Contras have shields, so it's kind of weird because you would think it's a 101. Okay. Do you know what you want from me? You want me to just take a look and see what I can offer you?
Yeah, you can make an offer.
All right, yeah. Let's take a look.
And then the whole
My offer cash for these would be $420.
I thought the Bills won. I mean, I thought the Ravens won.
Are you only interested in like the set or?
Ideally, yes. Okay. Is there one that you like are a little bit off on that you wanted me to take out, or?
Well, I'm guessing this for sure is probably under what you paid for.
That's the one I'm most interested in. Yes, that's
what are you offering for this?
I kind of just have it as like a whole lot, so I have to calculate it out.
I have $550 invested in this.
How much fancy points is this?
So just to be transparent.
I mean, $240 for those.
What's the punishment?
$240 for this?
For these.
You don't even want to know.
Yeah, we took that out.
this projection
Like,
go down?
get
Do
a
you think
pass.
it's questionable?
Yeah, no worries.
I got more invested in it. So
Yeah, I understand.
thank you, though.
Yeah, for sure.
That one didn't work out as well. And I felt like I did all I really could there. You know, when he told me that he had 550 into it and then I had given him my offer, I had a bad feeling that it wasn't going to work out then, even if we took out that Herbert, unless he was just into that Herbert Blue Shimmer auto for some insane clip that all of a sudden makes the deal make sense. But I got to tell you, it's really difficult to sell cards to a dealer or even a shop for that matter and be profitable with it. You have to get it at such a good margin in order to make a decent chunk of change just selling to dealers. And that's really tough to do. Trust me from my own experience. That's why you don't really see me walking around selling to other dealers, because it is not an efficient way for me to sell those cards, and I really don't have any motivation to do it that way. But yeah, that's just kind of how it was, is that I felt like I was doing everything I could besides going outside my comfort zone and paying even more. And I felt like, you know, it would be nice to have some of this football, and my sales probably would have been better at this show if I had more football in my case. I did fine without a whole lot of football. I mean, I sold a lot of baseball. I sold a couple wrestling cards. I sold a few basketball cards. But yeah, that's what people are looking for, right? It's football season, and football seems to be the king. It hasn't been too different for many years now. That's what people have been asking for. But I'm not going to overpay for it. I am going to take what's given to me. I'm going to buy good quality cards. They just might not always be football cards. I did get two things off camera after this deal. I got a Jared Goff patch auto that will probably end up staying in my collection because it's a nice on-card Lions card. And then I bought one of those metal color blasts that is from the new Panini one of Earl Campbell, meaning only one card to replenish my inventory. That's not great, but I still have quite a bit left from this show, and I have plenty of time to restock before the next show comes about. So yeah, sometimes the best buy you make is the buy that you don't make. And today, I'm proud that I stayed disciplined. I didn't panic. I didn't feel like I had to buy things. It was a good day for personal growth, and it was a good day sales-wise as well. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back later in the week with a new vlog a new podcast. Until then, take care, stay safe, and be kind.